I'll start in a seated position. If you want to, you can grab your block or cushion. And let's take a second to get comfortable here. Allow yourself to root through the sits bones. Maybe even imagine like these little tiny roots coming out from you and reaching through the ground into the earth. Keeping you stable, keeping you grounded. We'll reach our head nice, long and tall, our straight spine. Maybe imagining like there's a string at the top of your head just lifting you up. Letting the shoulders fall away from the ears. Take a few minutes to just breathe. Just getting comfortable in this position again. And on the next breath, let's start to come up with an intention or a little goal for today's practice. Maybe your goal is just to do yoga again. Maybe you had a little bit of a break over Thanksgiving break. Or maybe you'd really like to use this time to not focus on anything else. Maybe to stretch. And whatever your intention, let it inspire a few words to become your mantra for today's practice. Your mantra could be something like just yoga right now. Or it could be use this time for me. Maybe your mantra is something like letting it go. And once you have your mantra in mind, let's just start to take little neck circles. So first to one side, just gently moving the neck, keeping the rest of the spine straight and tall. And then let's switch directions. Start to come back to stillness. Placing the left hand on the mat, let's inhale the right hand up over to the left ear and gently pull the head to the right shoulder. Let's walk the left hand behind us. Right hand comes just behind the ear and look down and into the right armpit. Gently release, dropping the right hand to the mat. Inhale the left hand up and let the head fall over to the left shoulder. Let's walk the right hand just barely behind us. Left hand comes just behind the ear. Look down and into the armpit. And release that hand back to the mat. Let's remove your block if you're using one. We'll place both our hands on the mat and swing the legs around into a tabletop position. And we'll just start on our cat-cow here. So inhaling as we drop the stomach into a cow. And on the exhale, arching the back. Just moving to your own breath. Warming up the spine. Maybe take your time if it's been a few days for you. Let your spine move slowly. And we'll start to come back to our neutral spine. Let's take some hip circles to the right side first. Maybe starting off slower and smaller and getting bigger as you go. And we'll switch directions. Maybe one or two more. Then we'll slowly come back to center, back to stillness. From here, we'll start by just dropping the head, letting it hang completely. And then keeping the back a little bit rounded, keeping your head just hanging, not engaged at all. We'll start to bring the hips back to the toes very slowly. And you might make it all the way to your toes, you might not quite make it. Hopefully feeling a big stretch here. Let's come back up to our tabletop position. And then we'll just drop the hips into our child's pose, reaching the arms out in front of us. Probably feeling a stretch in a few different places than before. Let's walk the fingers over to the right side. While you're here, you're welcome to just really drop your weight onto your legs. Poses like this are great for digestion, good for after a big weekend of eating. And let's walk the fingers over to the left side. Letting yourself sink into this pose. Maybe reminding yourself of your mantra. And on the next breath, let's walk the hands back to center. And we'll slowly walk the hands and the torso up, back into our tabletop position. From here, we'll place most of our weight on our left hand, and we'll take the right hand, place the back of the hand on the mat, gently stretch the wrist. Rotating the hand around, we're going to place the fingers towards us, the wrist away. As you start to put more of your weight on your fingers, you'll feel a bigger stretch in the wrist. And let's release that back to normal. Place the back of the left hand on the mat. Gentle wrist stretch. We'll rotate that hand around, fingers pointing towards you. And bring that back to center. Let's reach the right foot out behind us, toes on the mat, and reach through that heel to a wall behind you. Gently waking up the calf muscle. And release that knee to the mat. We'll do the same thing with the left foot, placing the toes on the mat, reaching the foot out behind you. And release that back to the mat. Let's inhale the right arm up to the sky. Open up the chest, and on the next breath, reach that right hand under the left, walk it out, or thread the needle. And come back to center, placing that right hand on the mat. Left hand reaches up to the sky. Spend a moment opening the chest. On the next breath, thread it through under the right, reaching that out. And we'll bring that back to center, back into our tabletop position. From here, we'll tuck the toes and start to lift the hips into your downward facing dog. Feel free to drop one heel to the mat and then the other. It's been a few days, so don't feel bad if you're a little stiff. Just waking up the calf muscles, loosening them up. And on the next breath, step the right foot forward into lunge. Just holding this for a second. On the next breath, let's drop the left knee to the mat. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Slight back bend and crescent. And exhale the hands back to the mat. We'll slowly start to walk our hands back, straightening the front leg into a reverse lunge. And we'll walk the fingers back into our lunge. Let's bring that right foot over to the left side and drop the knee into a half pigeon. You're welcome to stay here on your hands or drop onto your elbows, whatever is most comfortable for you. Maybe remind yourself of your mantra while you're here. Remind yourself of your intention. On the next breath, let's tuck the back toes and we'll step back into our downward dog. We'll spend just a second here. And then on the next breath, we'll step the left foot forward into our lunge. Starting to lengthen that hip flexor. We'll drop the knee to the mat. Inhale, lifting the torso into crescent pose. On the next exhale, let's drop the hands back to the mat. And slowly start to straighten the front leg, walking the hands back into a reverse lunge. On the next breath, let's walk the hands forward again. And bring the left foot over to the right side, dropping the knee into a half pigeon. Either staying here on your hands or you're welcome to drop onto your elbows. On the next breath, if you're on your elbows, we'll come back up to our hands. We'll drop onto that left hip, swing the right leg around, both feet in front of you. Inhale, arms up to the sky. And exhale for seated forward fold, reaching towards those toes. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, reach back towards the toes. On the next breath, let's slowly walk the hands back up. Spread the legs wide on the mat. And inhale the right arm up to the sky. Left hand reaches towards the left foot. Back through center over to the right side. Back to center. Inhale both arms up to the sky. Reach them straight up in front of you. We'll walk the fingers over to the right side. And to the left. And back to center. See if you can walk the fingers out just a little bit further. And back to center. All the way up to our tall torso. Let's bring the bottoms of our feet together in front of us. And slowly fold over the legs. And we'll walk the hands back up to our tall torso. You can either keep your feet here or you can come to an easy seated position. Resting the hands on the knees. Breathing through the sits bones once again. Reaching the head up tall. Coming back to your breath. Back to your intention. Deciding if this intention is something you'd like to keep for the rest of the day, or maybe deciding on a new one. Whatever your choice, let's inhale arms up to the sky. Exhale the hands to heart center. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.